Hello, one and all, and welcome to another installment of Ranting Racing. I am your host, Jon Phipps, and I am joined again this week by my esteemed co-host, Landon Rock. And I think a word of explanation is in order for the reason we were missing last week. Life hit me and Landon and hit us hard. And we make no bones about that, but I want you all to know that first of all, me and Landon are all right, and everybody involved in our lives that was going through stuff is okay. And I'm happy about that. But that means since we were away last week, we got catching up to do. And we do have a third guest here. We do have a third person. Mike Council will be joining us when his camera turns back on. But until that time, it's going to be an old style Ranting and Racing where it's just us. Well, I take that back. Mike just turned his camera on. There he is.
Sorry, I had delivery. I'm done with the delivery, so.
That's all good. So Mike is joining us. Mike is joining us in the middle of a delivery.
No, this is it.
Uh-oh. So like I said earlier, we did not do this last week on account of life hitting us, nor did we get predictions in last week. So the prediction for Talladega will not go. But we did have some pretty hot action 2 weeks ago at Bristol, Tennessee on the dirt banks, the dirt track at Bristol there. I'm just talking like it's two different tracks. They put the dirt on over the concrete at Bristol and run on it. And we had two really good races. So we'll do a sort of whip around of the Bristol Dirt weekend. What stood out about Bristol Dirt for you guys?
The finish really stood out.
I'd have to say the improvement.
Yes, definitely better. Definitely better. Mike, what were you saying?
The finish to the Cup race.
Yeah.
Rise. I mean, well, granted, I was at Oriole games during the truck race all last week, so I only got to catch the Cup race. So.
Yeah, considering I was debating on whether or not to talk about Bristol Dirt at all because I was sick last week. I mean, as a dog, sick. So I didn't really get a chance to watch either race other than bits and pieces. So this is gonna sound bad, but I was gonna try and see if I could bounce off of you all just to get myself caught up on all the happenings of Bristol Dirt. But at any rate, highlights of it are online, and the races that we are gonna be talking about transpired at Talladega, Alabama. We had 3 races at Talladega over the weekend. We had the ARCA Series, we had Xfinity, and we had Cup. So we'll start with the first 2 races on the docket because they were on the same day, ARCA and Xfinity. We'll start with ARCA first, and my first gripe straight away: why do we have to run that race to where it butts right up against Xfinity? Can't we run it at like 11 in the morning local or something like that? Come on. They shaved like 8-10 laps off the race.
I mean,
because
8, yep.
Yeah, it was just it, by the way, I think they made that call that the next flag ends the ARCA race. I think they did that with 15 laps to go. And they made it
Probably because they were getting close to setting up for the Xfinity race.
They made it to 8 to go, which I'm kind of impressed by. They made it a whole 7 laps without junking it, and the caution that ended the ARCA race was just the lamest thing ever. Daniel Dye, who I think has never raced at Talladega before, Daniel Dye, he fucking goes up to try and block Brett Holmes, and then he just comes down, and fucking Nick Sanchez had a quarter of a car length on him. And Daniel Dye just says, let's fucking spin and end the race with 8 to go. By the way, I hope and I pray that I live long enough for NASCAR to realize that 90% of the spins that happen on the super speedways do not need cautions.
They'll always take a caution to group them back up.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but still, it's half the spin.
I get it too, but there are times where it definitely doesn't need to be a caution.
So Nick Sanchez, who caused quite a stir in last year's ARCA race, gets the ultimate redemption. He pulls the trick. He wins the ARCA race. Other notable events in that race: Scott Melton, and during the big one. First of all, I've never seen a car. Like, we've seen cars in the past, a zillion times in the past. They'll, like, ramp up on another car. They'll, like, touch wheels, and they'll just ramp one of them up in the air like so. But we've never seen one this bad. Richard Garvey, I think it was, Brayton Laster spun, and Garvey, he couldn't go nowhere. He ramps up over the right side of Laster's car, and that's oh my God. I thought he's lucky that
That thing just floated in the air.
Yes, he's lucky that little section is paved at the head end of pit road, because if that thing would have bit, it would have looked like Mikey in 2004. That was a horrible wreck.
For Newman at Daytona.
Oh, gosh. And then Scott Melton came flying, and I forget who was in that 7 car that he hit. Who was in that 7, or do you know?
Yeah, I forget too. I don't remember.
But Scott Melton, I don't know if his throttle was stuck. I don't know if his brakes were out, but he hit the 7 square in the passenger door, knocked the body off the frame of the 7 car. He hit that hard, and Melton
bent the roof and everything.
Bent the roof, and I think Melton actually had to be cut out of the car. And he had some pretty gnarly leg injuries sustained as a result.
He had surgery today.
I saw that. I did see that. Melton, ARCA is just having this bad habit of having horrific crash. Because last year, Derek Lancaster bounced into the wall in the back straightaway. I think it broke the fuel pump on his car, and he just about burned to death in the car. Oh boy. ARCA, I mean, yes. I don't know what else you could say about it. I don't know what else you could say about it other than just it's ARCA. What are you going to do?
Yep. It's about all you can say.
Boy. So the race gets cut short. ARCA race gets cut short 8 laps early as a result of time constraints leading up to the second race of Saturday. the Xfinity event, which was it started special. Jeffrey Earnhardt, who all of us here, we've been NASCAR fans for a long time. And Jeffrey has been knocking around in really all 3 series for over a decade now. And I actually have a story about that. I watched Jeffrey before he got into NASCAR because he would run dirt late models at With Raceway in Rural Retreat, Virginia when I was a kid. I watched him race. He had he had a number 3 late model too. Same font and everything.
That's sick.
So
it was cool to see him get that opportunity. He drove the damn wheels off that thing, and I want him to get some more seat time in that 3 car.
Yeah, Jeffrey got up there, led some laps, and it was really just the RCR pony show for the majority of that race. Austin Hill got up there. I think he wound up leading the most laps. He wound up leading the most laps of the day. And another interesting note. I was going to say another interesting note about Xfinity. We didn't really see a legitimate big one, which I'm happy about.
We didn't see it either, the Xfinity or Cup, to be fair.
Well, we did have the restart big one in the Cup Series.
That was what, 8 or 9 cars, but I wouldn't say that was like a big one.
So, but yeah, Xfinity came out great, and it had a bit of a zany ending. And I've got the last lap of that Xfinity race teed up here, and I want you all to watch the 3 car. To watch the 3 car in this, because Jeffrey, that was the car that Jeffrey was driving. It's a black and green 3 car. Watch his forward progression in this last lap.
Flag will end the race. Can Gragson finish the deal? Again, like all the cars are spread out back there. None of them are really lined up, but there's still such a long way to go to get back from the lap. Oh, you clipped him. Saved it. That was C got a shake. Here comes the 3 of Jeffrey Earnhardt in that outside lane. I'll tell you, that outside lane. Earnhardt down low, pushing. A.J. Allmendinger. Riley Herbst is in the mix. Brett Moffitt is there. Everyone behind the 9 of Noah Gragson.
Come on, 3.
They're 3 wide behind Noah.
Back up to him now.
Start-finish line down past the tri-oval at Talladega. Here they come. This will finish it in Alabama. Who's it going to be?
Down.
Noah Gragson wins it at Talladega Superspeedway.
It was a heck of a race.
I'd say I thought the 3-car spirit was going to come down and pull that car to victory lane, but wow.
I was hoping it would back up there. Congratulations to Noah Gragson, Bass Pro Shops, Junior Motorsports. That was a heck of a run.
The Xfinity finish, and as you saw there, Jeffrey Earnhardt had his granddad's crew chief atop the pit box. Larry McReynolds, who all 3 of us here knows as a longtime broadcaster for Fox, though he was a crew chief many years ago. He crew chief for Davey Allison, Ernie Irvin, Dale Earnhardt, just to name a few. And he was on the pit box again for this race, for the Xfinity race. And he damn near called Jeffrey to the win. So, gentlemen, about that Xfinity race, take it wherever you want to take it.
Biggest thing I'd probably say is definitely about the finish. There was that little incident in turn 1 where Sieg left the bottom lane open, and Jeb went to go take it and got him sideways. A hell of a save by Sieg. But that is both why Jeffrey got up to second, because that killed the whole second and bottom lane, so Jeffrey just went around the top, and that's why Gregson had such a clean run to the end. So good story for Jeffrey. Kind of wish the finish was a little more, but I don't know. It's Talladega. That's what happens. Can't really argue about it. Racing.
Yeah. Notable results as well.
Also,
from
huge finish for Myatt Snyder, who, if you recall, had the horrific wreck in Daytona, came back with a brand new super speedway car and finished P9. So good finish for that team.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. I won't say scraggle pack, but I won't say scraggle pack, but they were up there at the end. I just wish they could have mounted a good charge. So, yeah. So the finish of for Xfinity at Talladega, I mean, it's not the far from the smashiest we've ever seen, but
no.
Yeah, it did get a little bit fucky there at the end. Especially Sam Mayer.
Just a little bit.
Sam Mayer getting, who was that? Allmendinger that shoved him into a crash? Who was it? He was
Allmendinger was pushing him.
Yeah, Sam Mayer got turned by Allmendinger, went down into Austin Hill, who had the dominant car of the day, led something like 70
and it wasn't
laps.
even close.
Oh, yeah. By the way, speaking of the RCR bunch, the one we've not heard from is Sheldon Creed. Now, I thought Creed would be more of a factor than what he was, considering how great he's been.
I did too.
Series. I mean, he was up there for a time, but he was fading back into the pack awfully easy, and then he had that.
I think the biggest thing
with Caesar.
I think the biggest thing was that he was working with Austin Hill, and Hill had just such a better car. Yeah. So you just kind of follow him. You'd stay right there, but yeah, you don't really look like you're doing a whole lot. But he just had that much better of a car.
Also, I couldn't have been the only one that was just a little bit happy when Ty Gibbs got wrecked.
Yep. Nope, you're not.
Just cause Ty has been so fucking dominant in Xfinity this year. This motherfucker has 4 wins and we're like 10 races into the season. So and Gibbs was up there, but he wound up. It was his. They said something crazy during the broadcast. It was only his second career DNF. And he ran
the races he's done.
Gibbs has run, I know he ran a lot of the season in 2020. No, he didn't. He didn't run in 2020. That was Riley Hurst. Never mind. But he ran a lot in 2021, and he's running the full season in 22. And that's crazy. It's just his second ever DNF in the Xfinity series. My gosh. So, any other notable results from Xfinity that you'd like to talk about at Talladega?
I'll take care from here. Well, Noah Gragson, with Gragson winning, our buddy Moonhead was in victory lane.
Yes, Travis was in victory lane. Got his picture took with Gregson and everything, the lucky bastard.
I mean, the only reason he was there is because Junior won Moon Car Wednesday night.
Yes, that is true. Then let's touch a little bit on that. So, for those of you, even the racing fans that watch this may not know what Moon Car is. Moon Car, it's a thing. It's a thing on iRacing where basically what they do is they take all sorts of different cars and run them on all sorts of different tracks. And the best part about Moon Car is that you'll get professional drivers, like world-renowned drivers, sitting in with total scrubs on this. And the end result sometimes gets pretty interesting, as was the case when Dale Earnhardt Jr. entered into a moon car event at Talladega earlier this week, won the race backwards, flying through the air. Oh boy. But that brought a lot of attention to Moon Car, and I'm happy that it did, because oh boy, the Moon Car races are some of the funniest things I have ever fucking seen in my entire life. And I just got a thing here that Twisted Toe, another great NASCAR YouTuber, just uploaded his Xfinity reactions for Talladega. So that'll be what I'll be watching after this. So, oh boy, but Moon Car, there's a great video that a friend of ours posted on his thing, because we all three of us here was part of a trip, an excursion to Darlington last year for the Southern 500. And the first night of that trip, I'll admit it, we were drunk. We were drunk. We were watching.
Had a little bit of drink.
We were watching, what was it, Dirt Late Models at Talladega?
Dirt Late Models and 87s.
Yeah, I remember that now, because they all took pit. They were making laps, all taking pit road at full speed.
Yeah.
They were doing an all-star race style, just flying down.
That was crazy. And his thing that was crazy, I'm surprised we did not get a visit from South Carolina's finest that night.
Yeah, of course, us being in the middle of scenic nowhere might have had something to do with that.
Probably.
That was our only saving grace, though. And let's just hope when we go to Nashville this year that we're out in the country that much too, because I know we're going to be just as wild on this trip like we were on that one.
But here's the thing, what I've seen with the Airbnb, we're like about 40 minutes away from Nashville.
Okay. So we'll pivot now from the day of races Saturday to the A main event on Sunday, the Geico 500 at Talladega. So, first of all, we had a bit of a interesting qualifying session, because if any of you keep track of the races at Talladega, you'll know that Chevy they're just the ones to beat in qualifying.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones to beat in qualifying. But we had two Toyotas on the front row for Talladega. Christopher Bell wins, what was it, his second or third pole? I forget. Second pole. So Christopher Bell won his second pole of his career there at Talladega. And Martin Truex Jr., who we've kind of clowned on a little bit for being snake bit on the super speedways, he got him a second place qualifying effort, which was good. We had a lot of side-by-side racing in this, though we never really saw the pack very much in this Talladega race. And we didn't tear up as many cars as we did at Daytona, which I'm very happy about, even though we did have a few wrecks over the course of the race. And just like the Xfinity race, we had another wild and woolly finish. And I forgot to mention, for the second race in a row, the 3-car finished second, as evidenced here.
Agree, but anybody breaks that plane, anybody moves too wide, it can give everybody behind them an opportunity to get on. White flag, sponsored by Credit One Bank. You see the flaps moving on the one. He's pushing hard.
Justin Haley gets out of line here. Austin
Big
Dillon
time
goes by.
push. Is it too early to go off at 2, Dale?
Quarterback.
Too soon. Remember what the start-finish line is. Way down.
That's right.
Turn 1 and 2.
Byron spit out to the outside.
29 times this race has been decided by a last lap pass.
Oh, Kurt to the outside. That's going to slow down this one.
Now watch the momentum with the 1 car.
Too far out. 3 back.
Kyle Busch.
He's out of long ways. Here comes a run with the 5.
Kyle Larson, big push. Does it go to the outside?
Gonna have to. Here he goes.
And he's in the wall.
Opens the door up for the 1 of
Here
Ross
comes Joe.
Chastain.
And on the outside, Kyle Larson added.
Oh my gosh. How about you?
Ross Chastain. Ross is the boss of Talladega.
Ross just kept it straight. Everyone else went everywhere.
Well, he was able to. The 5 move, making that move to the outside, getting the big block by Eric Jones. Got him doubled up on the outside. How about this? Trackhouse Racing in victory lane again this season. They were 1 corner away from being 2 in a row.
And we live in reality now. We live in a reality now where Ross Chastain is a multi-time Cup Series winner. What a time to be alive. And I think my co-host has left the room. My co-host has left the premises. But, oh no, there he is.
Be back.
There you are. Oh boy. So a couple of interesting items about the finish of that race, and then we'll dive into wherever y'all want to take it. Ross Chastain got his 2nd win of the season, as you saw, and he did it in the same car that he got his 1st win in, because the car he won with there at Talladega was the same one that he drove to victory a few weeks back at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Yeah, he's gonna want to run that car a lot, and I don't doubt it. I don't blame him for wanting to do it. So there was that, and then there was Eric Jones, who was what, a quarter of a mile from winning that race. He was a quarter of a mile from winning that race on the same left side tires he started on. Eric Jones's team did not change left side tires that entire race. They run a 188 lap, 500-mile race on the same set of left side tires. That is unbelievable.
Those tires were used in qualifying too. So
really,
yeah, you can't change tires.
So, gentlemen, take the Cup race wherever you want to take it. I know Landon's got some pretty spicy opinions.
I do. How do I want to start this off? I felt that the race on Sunday was lacking some what do I want to say? It looked like it lacked some experience. In my opinion, that race was kind of messy. Weren't able to keep lines going. The shelves were kind of all over the place and almost wrecking each other. I don't know. There were flashes of, it felt like these drivers, were ARCA, and then there were flashes of, okay, well, hey, look, we're going to go single file here and wait for the end of the stage, which is usually pretty smart on super speedways. And then combine that with the fact that, they weren't able to hold a line for more than 15 laps. I don't know. It might just be my expectations, but I didn't think the race on Sunday was one of the better, more recent Talladega races. So I was a little disappointed. But Eric Jones, man, this dude's always up front at Talladega.
Yeah.
I really want him to win number 200 for the 43. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does it. He's been fast this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just I think that the reason why we didn't see no more like 3-wide racing and pack racing and stuff like that is that I don't think it was the cars as much as it was the drivers just being timid. Because look at what we saw at Daytona. We saw a car do a blowover at 100 miles an hour. That has to play at least.
But that wasn't from like, that was because that car got hit in the rear end. That wasn't because they got turned around and the car is that light.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but still, it was just, I felt it was just driver timidness more than anything that caused the I
think some of it too was Chevrolet.
Yes. Or you go ahead.
I think some of it too was Chevrolet. They wanted to just kind of run the bottom and have a Chevy up front, like when Chase Elliott won at Talladega in whatever year that was,
2019.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was the year.
So I think that definitely contributed to the not as many passes.
I mean, at least the manufacturer cuckery wasn't as bad as we've seen in years past. God dang, I still get fucking flashbacks to that 2018 Talladega playoff race where Stuart Haas just whipped the field. They just all four lined up and just scooted the fuck away. God, it pissed me off so bad.
Well, I'm gonna tell you about a funny thing with that.
Yes.
With Emerald winning that race in 18, it actually won me about $450 at a casino.
Oh wow. Gosh. $450 so that oh gosh. Anyway. Yeah, I liked the Cup race. It was action packed for a lot of it. Yeah, it did have dull stretches. But that's to be expected at this point. Like, and the dull stretches that we did see didn't last more than 10, 15 laps before everybody was just right back at it again. And here's what impressed me. Stage 3 at Talladega getting run caution-free. 63 consecutive green flag laps at a super spin. That is unheard of, almost, in this realm of NASCAR. And I believe that was the longest green flag stretch on a super speedway. I believe they said since the 04 Pepsi 400.
Yes, you are correct.
And the last half of that race, last 80 laps, got run under green. So, yeah, that was a very interesting race at Talladega, set of races at Talladega. So, moving on to next week, we are going to the Concrete Mile. Loudon's the Magic Mile. But we're going to Dover. Yes, the Monster Mile. We're going to Dover, Delaware. And we're actually going to Mike's home track up there in Dover. And I am looking to see if entry lists have dropped. I think Mike said that all three of the National Touring Series are running at Dover, Delaware this weekend. And if they are, I'll get the entry list teed up. And, by the way, before we get into Dover talk, there's a birthday today. My boy is having him a birthday. It is Alex Bowman's 29th birthday today. He is a Dover winner. He's a winner this year. He won at Vegas?
Yep.
Yes. Blaney won.
Yep, Vegas.
Bowman won at Vegas. So, yeah, happy 29th birthday to my boy, Alex Bowman. And I'm hoping that he has a great go of it this weekend. He does get around Dover pretty good. So the entry lists for Dover have not dropped yet, but we can kind of take a guess as to who is running where. So all three of the National Touring Series are running at Dover this weekend. And we'll start with the trucks. So, and then once we get our once we get our predictions in for the three races at Dover this weekend, we'll close out the stream with a story. And that's all I'm going to say. We'll close out the show with a story. So for the trucks at Dover, Landon, we'll start with you and we'll go clockwise. I think he's ignoring us.
I'm gonna go for John Hunter.
Good pick.
Not a bad pick.
John Hunter Nemechek, Landon says for the trucks. So, Mike Council, what say you?
Ooh. Yeah, I really haven't watched trucks in a while. I'm gonna go with long shots. I know won't win, but hopefully have
Mike.
good race.
Mike, your microphone's covered. You sound muffled.
Oh, all right.
There you
So
go.
I'm gonna go long shot that I know won't win, but hopefully has a good race. Tyler Hill.
That's totally not Maryland bias.
That is totally not Maryland bias.
That is total Maryland bias. You better, as Clint Boyer once said, you better get naked and start dancing for rain.
No. I'm just hoping that either Timmy or Tyler have a good race. That's all I'm hoping.
Yeah. It would
No
be nice to see. It would be nice to see one of those two do good on their home tracks. So for Dover, I am gonna say Zane Smith.
Not a bad pick.
Zane Smith to win at Dover. So we'll turn our attention to Xfinity, and man, do I wish we had entry lists to work with. I so wish we had entry lists to work with. So, but we're making do. We're making do with what we have. So, Landon, we'll start again with you, and we'll go clockwise.
I am keeping it rolling with not picking the same driver again. I have not used the same driver twice. I'm going to go for Justin Allgaier.
Ooh, Allgaier's been running pretty good. He had a stout car at Talladega. He's had several stout runs this year. And he's good at Dover. He's won at Dover in the past. Wouldn't be surprised to see that 7 car roll into victory lane when it's all said and donezo. Mike, what say you?
I mean, I'm all for revenge, and there's still some beef left over from Martinsville. Josh Berry.
Josh Berry. Not a bad pick.
Oh.
So y'all are staying in the junior motorsports camp. Landon with Allgaier, Mike with Josh Berry. I might as well do the same. When you're hot, you're hot. Noah Gragson.
Mm-hmm.
Noah Gragson to go back to
Can't
back.
blame you there.
Okay, so for the Cup race, Landon will again start with you, and we'll go clockwise.
Well, I haven't used the same driver twice in trucks or Xfinity, so we're not going to do it in Cup. I'm going for Truex.
Ooh, Truex to get a win at his actual home track. Unlike all the other times he said it was his home track. Truex is... Oh, gosh. But yeah, Truex, he does do good at Dover. He does do really good at Dover. So...
He's been struggling, but I think this is a time for him to turn it around.
I'm going to go with someone who's due for a win and has won at Dover in the past. Chase.
I know who you're going to... Ooh, Chase ain't a bad pick at all.
Who were you thinking I was going to say?
Honestly, I was thinking you were going to say Harvick.
No.
I thought he was going to say Harvick. So we've got Truex. We've got Chase. Now for me. I think I'm going to stick. I think I'm going to go. I'm gonna pull the fan card again. I'm going to go with the birthday boy. Give me Bowman.
Do you want to kill Dover that bad? No.
What?
Do you want to kill Dover that bad?
I mean, SMI owns it. It's basically a dead man walking as it is.
You just want Dover dead and gone.
No, I don't want Dover dead and gone. Though, to be fair, wherever Bowman wins at, something always happens. Bowman killed Chicagoland. Where else? Where else?
He's killed Charlotte Fall Oval Race. That's the reason why it's a roval.
No, Bowman didn't. Bowman never won on the oval.
Xfinity.
Oh, 2017. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Poconos lost the race.
I forgot about Pocono.
Richmond lost the race. Well, actually, had playoff.
Well, Richmond already had just one race when Bowman won there.
No, it lost.
I don't think he killed anything at Richmond because he won the day race, and we went from a day race and a night race to 2 day races. So, if anything, he changed Richmond but didn't kill it.
He shortened the Martinsville Spring Race from 500 to 400.
Forgot about that too.
I kind of hope he wins Texas. That way, Texas is killed.
Oh yeah, Texas. Yeah,
yes,
Bowman.
Agreed.
Yeah, Bowman wins at Texas, and then the next day the track gets hit by a tornado.
Actually, no, I wouldn't wish a tornado. I just wish a bulldozer.
Yeah, bulldozer would work just as well. By the way, y'all remember when the Atlanta Motor Speedway got hit by a tornado all those years ago?
2005.
I remember seeing quick story about that. I remember reading NASCAR Scene and seeing pictures of the damage in there. Like the press boxes were gone. The scoring tower was laid flat. And this was late in the year too. This was like July when that thing hit. And this is when they still had the race in October. And I was thinking to myself, oh my God, how are they going to fix this place in time? It's not going to be, they're not going to get it fixed. They're not going to get it fixed. They did. I don't know how, but they did. By the way, I wonder what the contingency plan would have been had they not been able to get it repaired before October. Wonder what the contingency plan would have been. Does anybody know?
Not off the top of my head. Probably would have moved on to what was the next race in 2005 after Atlanta?
After Atlanta? Oh God. I don't even remember. Probably like Kansas or Charlotte or someplace like that.
Move that race to then and then move Atlanta to the season finale.
Yeah, like what they did with Loudon after 9/11.
Exactly.
So we have a little bit of time here before we wrap. We have a little bit of time. See, Mike's smiling. He's got a smile wide as the Talladega front stretch. He has, because for those of you who don't know Mike, his day job is he's a delivery driver. He's a DoorDash driver.
Mm-hmm.
So this man has seen some shit in his time, including today.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, the floor is yours.
All right. So what happened today? This was 3:00 at McDonald's. All right. I'm picking up a customer's order. 20 minutes go by and still haven't picked up. There's a fight going on in the kitchen. Like, a lot of shit was thrown. Like, ice cream was thrown, burgers were thrown, and it all started because this one woman wanted to get off of work at 4 when the manager wanted her off at 6. Oh, there's more to this story.
Leave it to
And
Karen.
then it gets another woman involved because the one that wanted to get off at 4 accused that woman of sleeping with her boyfriend. I'm like,
how do you... Oh my gosh. Mike, you
and
live...
the sad part is I didn't record it.
Oh my God, dude. Mike, I'm telling you, you live in that part of Maryland that is Mississippi North.
Pretty much.
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is proof. This is proof that redneck is worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. It's just, there's a whole story about that. So,
Of course it's worldwide. Haven't you seen Australians?
fair. Very fair. Oh my gosh. Why do you think people go over Niagara Falls in a barrel?
No reason.
Redneck. Oh, look. Redneck is not a trait. It's a disease. It's a disease. Oh my gosh, y'all.
I still cannot believe that stuff happened. Like, I mean, because I was texting the customer like play by play, and I wish I had the text messages up.
He was texting this customer play by play. I love that.
Because they were wondering what the hell was going on with where their food was, and I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then and I forgot to add this part. So the woman that wanted to get out for threw the bag of food at me, and I just almost wanted to get out of there, and then the cashier just put it in a new bag. So I'm like, well, shit. I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't know how we're going to top that. I don't know how we're going to, anything we could say is top that. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out and showing love and support. Hello to the replay squad. We love you too. And we will see y'all next week. So, hope for a good slate of races at Dover this weekend. And I know that, I don't know for sure, but Mike and some of his crowd might be up there to catch.
Yeah, that's a change of plans. We're not going to Dover now.
Gotcha.
But because now May 1st is an open day, and after I get done moving a buddy in, I'm going to Orioles games.
There you go. So, have a great rest of your night, one and all, and we'll see you next week for the next edition of Ranting Racing. So, take care, much love, God bless, and all